Okay friends, it's time to get started on replacing our oil pressure switch. Now this is going to be located right inside the passenger side wheel well. It's fairly easy to get to down underneath this area, but to be able to have a little bit more room and a visual aspect to be able to see it, I'm going to go ahead and safely raise and support the front of the vehicle so the wheel's off the ground, remove all the lug nuts, then the wheel, so we can get in there and have a look. Now we're just going to go ahead and get this shield out of the way. You're going to find a push clip and two 10mm headed bolts. Now all that's out of the way, we have a nice clear view of where our oil pressure sensor is. Now looking at the electrical connector, you're going to find that it has a red locking tab. Just going to use some pliers to grab onto this. We'll go ahead and pull it down. Now that that's unlocked, let's go ahead and squeeze on the tab right here where my index finger is. We'll pop that right off of there, and once you have it off, just inspect it. You want to look and see if you have any funny colors. If you do, it's corrosion and it needs to be dealt with. This one looks fine, so I'll go ahead and set that aside. Now we're going to continue on to removing the oil pressure sensor from the engine. To remove the sensor, you're going to want to have a special socket that looks just like this. I'm going to fit it right over here. Press down on that. Now at this point we're going to start removing the oil pressure sensor. Keep in mind that there could potentially be oil inside this area here, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a nice collection bucket underneath the area. Now I've got the bucket under there, but something else that I'm going to mention is once we open this up, in case there is any oil coming out, you can either use a gloved finger to go ahead and plug it off so no oil comes out, or of course you can just have the brand new OP switch right next to you so you can shove it right in the hole once this one's out. Alright, now it's time to install our brand new OP switch. And get that lined up with the hole. We're going to start this in right by hand. You want to make sure you got the threading right. Now we can go ahead and snug this up. When we're tightening it, you want to be paying attention to the area on the threading of the original one. You can tell that this one wasn't necessarily screwed all the way into the engine where the threading is. We're only going to go approximately halfway, and that should be good enough. Let's check that real quick. I'm going to go a little further. Okay, I can feel like it's starting to get a little stiffer here. Let's check it. That looks great. Now we're ready for that wiring. Let's go ahead and connect that in. Listen for a click. There's that. Make sure you lock it down with the red connecting tab. Double check it to make sure it's secure. Now we can get our plastic shroud in here. We're going to want to make sure we put it up and behind this area right here so these tabs are lined up with the corresponding holes. Go ahead and start in both of those mounting bolts. Once you have those started, go ahead and snug them up. Time for the push clip. Go ahead and line up all three of the holes on your plates here. Press in the outer portion and then lock it in with the center. Make sure that's secure. Now let's get the wheel back up on here. At this point, we're going to go ahead and start on all of our lug nuts. Once they're all started, we'll go ahead and snug them up, get the wheel back on the ground, and then we'll torque the lug nuts to manufacturer's specification. Torqued. Okay friends, we got the car back together. What's left to do now? Now it's a great idea to just go ahead and do an oil change on this. It really only makes sense. You're replacing the oil pressure switch, go ahead and do an oil change at the same time. Thanks for watching.